my table shaking? That's so weird. It sounds like I'm having a good time down here, but no, that's not. Oh, one second.
Variety princess, yeah. Variety princess, yeah. Variety princess,
The Variety Princess TM. Did you trademark that name?
No, but I should. I think I should. Well,
Uh,
fun fact, there's actually a person on YouTube that has Variety Princess as their name. They had their channel before I created mine, but they don't use it. They haven't used it in a long, long, long time. So they have youtube.com/variety princess, which I would like to have, but I can't. So I guess I'm not the original, technically.
you. How did YouTubing start for you, and why, out of all of the different platforms to be an online entertainer for gaming, because now we have a bunch, why specifically YouTube?
So this actually wasn't my first channel that I used to upload videos surrounded by gaming or anything that I enjoy making content about. I had another channel before, and then I ended up making the one that you guys all know of currently. And the reason I decided to create the channel was just because I wanted some sort of outlet. I always enjoyed creating like making videos and acting and dancing, playing video games and stuff like that. So I thought it would be a great place for me to express myself. And so um, I ended up making the channel. And then you asked me, how did I get started? And what was your second question? Oh, why
Why
YouTube
YouTube?
specifically?
Yeah.
Um, at the time I didn't know about Twitch. I don't think Twitch was really that much of a thing when I created my channel. So, I didn't really know about Twitch. I didn't know about streaming or anything like that. So, YouTube was always the platform that you would go to watch cool videos. So, um, that was mainly why I chose YouTube. I didn't really research to see if there were any other platforms out there because YouTube was the it platform. So that was just what I went to naturally.
When you were talking about back then, like how long ago did you start?
I started I started in, I want to say the end of 2012, beginning of 2013. Um,
Okay,
so I've been on YouTube for a while. I just
right.
haven't been as consistent as I should have been, but I've been in the space for quite some time now.
And how does it feel to you, or for you to be on it now while YouTube does have so much competition?
I look at it as motivation, honestly. I know a lot of people are hesitant to um, start content creation because they feel like the space is saturated, but I look at it as motivation. And we have to remember that the content creation space is fairly new. It's, you know, maybe a decade or so old. I mean, a lot of it is new in general. Like with Twitch, Twitch is fairly new. A lot of things that is in the content creation space has just began. So when people say that it's like super saturated, we don't think of other jobs as being super saturated, like jobs that's been around for decades and decades and decades. We only say that I only see that being said about content creation and things in like the entertainment space. So with YouTube being so saturated, as people say, I look at it as motivation because the fact that there's so many people on there doing what I love, that shows me that I can do it too. And also, it's causing the platform to implement new features that actually benefit me. With more people starting to do streaming on YouTube, they're starting to implement more features for streaming, which is awesome. I haven't been streaming for a long time, but the fact that I am streaming on there and I'm actually in the space as they're starting to implement these new features that they've never had before, I just look at that as something that's good for me because the more streamers that come on there, the more stuff they're gonna add that'll benefit me.
Well, I mean, that does sound like a really nice motivation. And speaking of friends of yours, Jack Levensky, and then
Cyanide,
Cyanide.
Michelle.
Cyanide.
That's my best friend, yeah.
Oh
Tell
yeah,
them I
my
said
beautiful
hi.
best friend. Hi.
They're from my channel. I love
Okay.
them.
Yes. Well, you are loved over here. See, there's four muscle emojis and a fire, and then
That sounds like
one.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, a cry emoji, and then a heart emoji, and then a love emoji.
Okay. Thank
So
you guys. I love you guys.
when you decide to record videos, because I've seen like some of your videos that you do, of course, gameplay walkthroughs,
Yeah.
and you even relate your website. You actually have like an advice page.
Yeah. I
That
want to
that
start
was really
using
cool.
that more. Yeah.
Looking at where you are now, but also how you even got there. What for those who may decide I want to start YouTube now, or I am previously a streamer on Twitch, or I'm on Facebook, and now I want to expand to YouTube because there's two groups of people getting into YouTube, or at least the ones who are considering YouTube.
Right.
I know there's millions of people out there regards to those who are just getting started with content creation, period. But I think what's even more fascinating are those who are in content creation but not in the YouTube space. How do you manage to evolve yourself, uh, knowing that you mainly went with YouTube?
Um, Evolve myself. What do you mean by
Yeah,
that?
as a creative, like go from where you began to where you are now.
Oh, I think you just have to kind of keep up with, you have to adapt. So things are always changing with social media, and you have to learn to adapt to be able to stay afloat. So over time, I've adapted to different things that I saw was um, successful in the space. Initially, I started my channel. When I first started my YouTube channel, I really wanted to do like give advice, since you mentioned that. I wanted to do like an advice channel. But then once I kind of thought about it, I was like, wait, I don't really have anybody that will ask me advice because nobody knows about my channel. So I started doing like reviews of shows that I like, such as like Bad Girls Club and stuff like that. And then I started doing gaming videos, which I probably would have started doing gaming videos from the beginning, but I didn't because I didn't know that you could make gaming videos on YouTube or even online in general when I started. So I started to kind of evolve into gaming because I saw that there was a lot of growth in that space. And also, I've always loved video games. So I mainly started to focus on that. But as far as evolving in general, it's really just you have to learn to adapt to whatever platform you're on, whether it's Facebook gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and if you notice that you're not growing, you have to change something. If you keep doing the same thing and you notice that you're not growing, you have to make changes.
Now, what would you say when somebody considers, because the other thing that people would say is, well, do it specifically because you love it, which I mean that is an important reason, motivation. But when you mention like, keep changing, like if you keep on doing this same thing, uh are you and when regards to changing things up, like what in specific? Because there are Twitch streamers or even YouTubers who make a living off of just one game or one subject for that matter, and that's been growing from basically as long as they've been around.
Right. I think once you get to a certain like level, I think you can make content about really anything, and because you've already kind of locked in that support base. Whereas when you're new and you're just starting out and nobody knows who you are, I think it is even more crucial to adapt to what's going on in the space. And I'm not saying to like not do what you love, or like if you're doing
Yeah.
what you love and then, you're not growing. I'm not saying to stop doing that, but I'm saying to try to figure out what it is that isn't working and adapt in that way. You can still do the same content, but maybe do something different with the content that you haven't done before.
So what examples would you give as far as like an adaptive change if someone
Um,
finds something not working?
okay, so for me, for example, with gaming, um, a few years ago there were games that I would play, but they were games that nobody really watched that much. Nobody really is interested in watching, and maybe it's because I'm a smaller channel. Then I started to kind of branch out and play some other games that I still like. I'm not playing games that I don't like. I love the games that I play, but I just switched it up and tried to play some different games, and that's brought more attention to my channel over time. Also, streaming has brought a lot of attention to my channel. Still doing the same type of content, but I've noticed that doing streaming has actually brought a lot of support to my channel that I didn't have prior to doing streaming when I was just doing regular YouTube videos. So that was a change that I made. Things like that.
Interesting that you bring up though when talking about what you thought wasn't working was a game you enjoyed but not many people knew about.
Hmm.
And this is actually sort of like a subject that becomes a debate among young streamers or new streamers, and that's whether or not the popularity in the game that you played is it the game or is it you? And when you bring that up, I mean that throws in the discussion that people have whether or not they should really focus on popular games or they should focus on games they like and with add their personality to it or add something that says them.
I think it depends. Like, I feel like now that I've kind of branched out and adapted and done some different things that brought more people to my channel, I feel like if I were to play some of those games now, I would have a lot more views on those videos or those streams because just from adapting, I've gotten more people to come to my channel. Um, I think it also depends on where you are. Like I said, if you're already pretty big, I feel like you can probably do anything and you'll still have a pretty decent amount of people watching because you've already kind of locked in that support. Um, but I think when someone's starting out, um, I think you just have to kind of test the waters and see what works because I wouldn't necessarily say to play a popular game or to not play a popular game. I would say play what you like first. Obviously, give it some personality because that's what'll make you stand out and make you unique and see what happens. And then, depending on what happens, then you can go from there because I feel like it's all of those factors. I feel like it can sometimes be the games you're playing. It can be how big your channel is. It can be your personality and how much of it you're showing.
I'll tell you the how I found out about you was not even from a game,
Hmm.
but it was from a stream I watched where you were on a little spelling bee game
I had a
with
feeling. That's funny.
no, I sat up there and watched it because I mean there's some streamers I know who were involved in that too, but
Yeah.
with that in mind, because that also becomes an important subject to new streamers out there, networking.
Hmm.
And I would like to think that should be number one out of anything you do.
Hmm.
And especially how I found out about you was because of that. Uh, what would you say? I mean, how looking at where you are now as a YouTuber with over 1,000 followers, do you think networking played a part, or was it specifically the streams and the videos that you've made? You just posted them out there, and then suddenly one of them took off, and here you are now.
I would say, honestly, I would say that networking didn't play a huge part in my channel specifically because I just recently started networking. I've heard from people that I should network and collab and do things like that, but I honestly just started doing that like this year because of Noir Network, which is a group I'm a part of that was founded by ex Mira Mira. So that's really pushed me to network a lot more. But prior to this year, I really hadn't done like any collabs with other gamers or anything like that. So this year I've collabed so much and it has made a difference. I think it's made like a difference as far as growth in terms of how quickly I've been growing. But I think prior to this year, all of it was really me just posting content over the last however many years. It's been a long time though.
Well, I mean, you're here now, and to say that that has helped you significantly,
Yeah.
I mean, I would think so. Or having a great time and getting drunk, like I mean, now it's possible. It's possible that the morning after they'll all forget like who's who, and then you'll like never speak to each other again. But I would like to think that you all became besties after that night.
Yeah, I definitely made a lot of friends on from that stream, and it was really fun. And I'm thankful that Geechee included me in it. It was fun, even though everyone said that I cheated because I didn't have a strong enough beverage. But yeah,
Oh, right, because you also mentioned that you before we even started recording that you're not very alcoholic. That must be an
no,
interesting challenge because
yeah.
everybody was drinking but you.
Yeah, they were drinking like rum and vodka and other stuff that I've never heard of. But I'm not a huge drinker. I never have been like a huge drinker. I mean, I'll drink from time to time, like at events or, if I get bored one day out of the year, I might be like, oh, I'm gonna go get some Smirnoff Ice. But other than that, I'm not a huge drinker. So when you have stuff like that where you have to drink, I'm gonna choose something that I can handle because I'm not like I don't drink tequila or any of that stuff. So I felt like that was fair. They say I cheated, but I don't feel like I cheated.
Okay, so basically they're not gonna have you back ever again. Like,
Geechee probably, I don't know. She wanted to fight me after I took her crown, so I don't know. Maybe not.
oh,
I told you it's
eh,
water.
here you go with your cheating device. Got it. What you did was, just making friends, but I think there's a big confusion that seems to go with a lot of new streamers about let me support you so you can then support me back,
Hmm.
or you can then check out my video. Let's just check out each other's video or check out each other's stream. It's still a popular thing today, and I love that even though you started this year, you started doing it the way that it's supposed to be. And what I mean supposed to, I don't, again, everything is non-linear, but regards to networking with other people, I mean, you should at the end of the day treat each other like people and not
Yeah,
a number.
I agree. Yeah, I've never been the type of person that really liked to go about getting people to my channel in that way, like, oh, check out my stream and I'll check out yours, or check out my channel and I'll check out yours. I feel like um in the long run it doesn't work as well as people might expect it to. So I've appreciated that the networking that I have done has felt organic and genuine rather than I check you out, you check me out, and if you like my content, then you can follow, or follow me, I'll follow you kind of thing. Because I feel like you're not really getting somebody in your space that genuinely supports your content.
Two people left right after you said that. They're like, nope, call for call. That's how we do it. All right, let's get out of here. Okay, where's
It's
those
the
F or
truth.
Fs?
It's the
those those
truth.
those F or Fs. That
Yeah.
that sounds weird when you just put it in initials. Furf. Or what is it? I don't even know how you, because it doesn't even sound like a word or a thing.
Yeah, I feel
But
like that's so like
yeah.
2007, 2008, honestly. Like that sound like that's like MySpace lingo.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I'm shocked that people still do that. I didn't even know that was really still that much of a thing, but
How do you go about presenting yourself to other streamers or other people? At what platforms do you like to take advantage of?
I like to reach out to people. Lately, I've reached out to people a lot on Twitter. But like I said, I haven't networked that much. But
Yeah.
from what I have done, it's mostly been like Twitter. I would say Twitter.
Why Twitter?
Um, because I'm on there a lot and I follow a lot of gamers on there, and that's mainly where I keep up with a lot of gamers. So it's easier to reach out to people to collab and things like that whenever they may post something, seeing if anyone wants to collab, or if I want to collab with someone, I can easily DM them on Twitter and ask them if they want to.
What do you think people see in you when they watch your videos? What says Variety Princess?
um, I don't know. I think I'm genuinely myself, which kind of sounds cliche, but I am. Like I like to make jokes, I like to make people laugh. I like to laugh. So I'm very like quirky, and I'm also pretty sarcastic too. So I think the sarcasm, the jokes, the neon lights, I think that's what makes me me. I don't know. I feel like someone that watches me would probably answer a lot better than I do. But yeah.
So you think the pink sells? Like when you have pinks in the back? Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. You know what? I'm changing my lights here. My lights are yellow, so basically my room looks like piss, but maybe it's
No,
some
I
change
switch
that.
it up sometimes though. Like I don't
Okay.
always do pink, but
Okay. Well, still, like all that lighting in the background, like you have even a planet, like I think a planet, like it's kind of blurred in the back, but you can see on your screen, you got some nice decorations.
yeah,
So
thank you.
yeah, you like to deck out your room, like I'm like in the in some attic somewhere, but you
But your room looks spacious though.
yeah, except that I don't know why, but I think there's like I can't tell if there's like something. Oh, never mind. That's my screen. Uh, when you're doing those Let's Plays, when you're doing those gameplay videos, is there something that you like to do that you're like, maybe I'll do this differently? Like, for example, I'm gonna purposely like suck at this game because I just want to goof off, or I want to speed run it. I want to beat Lake in 5 minutes.
No, I haven't I haven't done anything like that yet, but I've thought about um doing that in the future, like doing let's plays or streams where I'm playing a game, but I purposely choose all of the bad options in like a choice-based game. I feel like that would be fun to do. But the reason that I don't do that is because I don't know. I like to make the good choices in choice-based games. So
Why?
because I care about my characters.
Well, the world is cruel though. They want to see everything burn.
I
Like,
know. Like in The Sims, I know a lot of people will kill their Sims and like remove the ladder in the pool and lock them in a room and not feed them. I've never done that though, even though I've been playing The Sims for like 20 years. I just care about my characters.
yeah, well, I mean, if you must, that's I no, I wouldn't do that. I haven't played The Sims in a hot minute, but if I were to play Sims, I wouldn't think about killing characters either. Uh,
You'd be surprised though. Some people do. Like that's their ultimate goal, to kill everyone in the game.
when you're not streaming,
Hmm.
what is life like for you?
Mm, I love to dance, so I spend a lot of my time dancing. I also play video games off stream. I hear a lot of streamers, and content creators say that they feel like they've kind of lost that magic touch when it comes to like being able to play video games in their free time. Like they feel like whenever they play games, they have to be recording it. And I never want to get to that point where I feel like I can't do what I've always loved without recording it or creating content around it. So I definitely always make time to play video games off, like outside of content creation. I want to get back into reading, but reading is something that I love. I love watching horror movies and reality TV shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I love watching YouTube and Twitch. So a lot of the things that I make content doing, I love. I also love doing outside of content creation.
When you bring up that some people don't have that free time, well, that's an interesting point because everybody's got a varying degree of free time. Because I mean, every content creator, the goal to make this your day job, there's a long stretch to it. There's a lot of things, and it's a whole subject on its own. But more likely than not, especially for smaller creators, they're going to have a day job or a side job. uh and for you, like, do you have any sort of outside obligation that's going to make you go like, oh shoot, all right, now I have to figure out what days I'm going to stream and plan this out? Like, how do you make sure you have that work life balance?
So I've come to find that, and this is why I love streaming so much now. I've come to find that when it comes to streaming, I don't have to do that as much, which is kind of weird because you would think, oh, with streaming, wouldn't you have to like put in a lot more effort to figure out when you're going to have time to do that? But I feel like when I was making regular YouTube videos, it was hard for me to really pinpoint when I was going to create that content because I would do whatever I did in the daytime, whether it be my full time job or other errands I had to run and things I had to do. And then I would have to figure out when I was going to, like, what I was going to play or what I was going to record, when I was going to record it. Then you have to edit it. Then you have to upload it and figure out a really good time to upload it because you don't want to upload it in the middle of the night when nobody's going to be watching it. I feel like there was a lot more thought that went into creating regular YouTube videos, whereas with streaming, I've been doing that pretty much every day for the past month, and I don't feel like it's taken any time away from me that I wouldn't have otherwise. Like with streaming, I can just stream at the same time every day, whether it's like 6:30 p.m. Eastern, stream for however many hours, and then I'm done. And the content's up and it's there, and I got to interact with everyone that supports me, and everything's already done. Whereas with creating regular videos, you have to kind of figure out when you're going to do this and when you're going to do that and when you're going to upload it. So I like that not a lot of thought goes into it and you also accomplish more.
Yeah, but in addition, you also have the social media posting. And
Mm-hmm.
kind of going back to what I'm talking about, some of these other creators who are thinking about YouTube, who are already on a creative platform like Twitch. Because I know some friends who are Twitch streamers that, like, you know what, I want to get into YouTube and make some YouTube videos. I also stream. I also may or may not have a day job. And you, who focuses on YouTube, have you even looked at these other platforms and been like, yeah, maybe do I want to make streams on Twitch or do something on Facebook? Like, have you looked at these things like, hey, I want to make content on there too?
Yeah, initially I never planned to stream on YouTube actually. My initial plan was to just keep creating regular YouTube videos for YouTube and then stream on Twitch. But I had talked to some creators that have been successful with streaming on YouTube, and they were like, yeah, you can do this, you can do that. And they kind of told me a lot more about streaming on YouTube that I didn't know before. And I was like, well, let me just start off trying that because I'm already on YouTube. So why not just try it out and see how I like it instead of transitioning over to a whole new platform for streaming. All of my supporters are here, so why don't I just start out here, and then if I want to eventually transfer over to Twitch, I can. Um, so I have looked at Twitch before. I still kind of go back and forth about whether I want to stream on there. Currently, I'm not interested in streaming on Twitch because I love streaming on YouTube that much, and I feel like a lot more features that will be beneficial to streamers will be coming to YouTube very soon. But I've definitely looked into Twitch. As far as like Facebook gaming, Facebook has never really appealed to me. I don't think I'll ever stream on Facebook. But
Oh,
yeah, I'm just not, I don't know. I'm not a huge Facebook fan anymore. I used to love Facebook, not even just with gaming, but just in general. But now, like, nah.
Facebook is dying.
Yeah, the
Hashtag
old heads
Facebook
took
death.
over and I'm over it.
The old heads?
The old heads.
What is that?
So I was on Facebook like more than anything at one point, and then like I started to notice like, everyone's grandparents and moms and dads and aunts and uncles started coming over to Facebook, and I was just like, okay, I feel like they're kind of taking over. So I started to transition out because yeah.
Okay, so ageism.
You can call it that, but yeah.
God darn, what woman, you're gonna be old one day. Why are you looking down? Why are you coming
I
down
mean,
on these
hey,
guys?
younger people might feel that way about me being on TikTok. So, hey, it is what it is.
The- No, 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 don't do that. Okay, here I thought you just had a now that is just cruel. But no.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that can relate. There's a lot of people that kind of, you know, jump
Well,
ship once their whole family started to come on Facebook.
well, when it's racist parents or grandparents, that's the exception. But outside of that, oh shoot, this dude is hilarious. Interview is thank you, Jack. I try to be funny. I mean, that's the thing is bring a smile to the interviewee's face as a because most interviews viewers, I should say, would kind of try to make this very serious, very professional. They would start off by saying, "Hey, this is Chase Pun. Hey, we're here with Puns Fest, and I'm here with Variety Princess. How's it going? What got you into streaming?" No, I like to go, "Hello, everyone. This is Chase. Whoa, on here. Oh my goodness, I'm speaking to Variety Princess. Oh, the tidal waves. Oh my goodness, the pigness. Old heads. Okay, now your community is ageist. What's
What they
going on here?
say? What are they
Old
saying?
heads facts. What what is up with like picking on people who are like 50 or 60 years old?
Hey, I don't pick on people that are older. Like I actually feel like I'm more supportive of older people than a lot of others, but you know, when you have your older family members coming on Facebook or whatever social media platform and taking over and questioning you about everything you do, then
Oh,
it
all
gets
right,
annoying.
okay. Oh, when you mentioned like the questioning part, like that's the thing is like there are elders who don't question. In fact, they're pretty supportive. They'd be like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it's not that they're on there, it's
yeah,
what they do on there. It's just like
okay."
I can't.
Yes, today, right now, Twitch is going through some crud. Uh,
Yeah, I've heard.
YouTube is going through some crud too. So I mean that's the thing is like all the people at YouTube can't go over to Twitch. It's like, ha ha, you're not on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you're with the good guys. Once these platforms start getting super popular, then you get into the issues that come about these platforms that either the company doesn't want to handle or they're not prepared to handle yet and they're taking the long route. And yes, Twitch right now has hate raids or hate bots coming in on occasion. It's random. You cannot predict when they'll happen. All you just have to make sure is you have moderators to help you out. This is also on YouTube. So there have been some black YouTubers who stream games who got hate rated.
Oh wow, I haven't heard about that
You haven't heard about it because it's not as publicized as
as
on
the Twitch
Twitch.
ones. Yeah.
The reason why is because Twitch right now is still the #1 streaming platform. It
Mm-hmm.
owns like 95 or 97% of the streaming market. But the truth is these hate raids are an issue more than on Twitch exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be something that you may even have to prepare for one day,
Yeah.
because unfortunately the world is full of like dumb and hateful people, and as much as you have a wonderful community right now, it's a matter of time before you have those n words, you have those people who try to gatekeep uh, the love of gaming. This is either going to be something you will have to worry about or not, depending on how you like to curate your content as far as what is said and what you do. I mean, how do you even feel about all the changes that are going on, or all the things that are going on right now in the content creation space?
I feel like the platforms definitely need to speak up more because from what I've seen, there hasn't really been any discussion about what's going on from the platforms. Like, I feel like Twitch has been pretty silent about the hate raids, which is insane. And I feel like with YouTube, they don't really communicate with creators enough. I definitely agree with that. I just feel like there needs to be more communication overall about what's going on with the raids, what's going on with people's content getting taken down and them not knowing why. I feel like people should be given a reason why. And I actually recently submitted a complaint to YouTube about not being able to communicate with them as much as I would like to. Not because anything specific happened with music, like copyright music or anything like that, but recently I had a troll in one of my streams, and it was almost impossible to actually ban them. Me and my mods tried to ban this person multiple times, and they were able to keep coming back, and I'm not quite sure why, but I think it's just some sort of issue with YouTube system. But I feel like there should be someone I can reach out to about that, and I shouldn't have to like jump through hoops to get in contact with someone when I'm being harassed, you know?
That is important. I mean, there are Twitch streamers right now that are saying, or black female Twitch streamers right now saying, "I'm gonna try YouTube. I'm going to switch to YouTube." Hey, why is my table shaking? What that is so weird. It sounds like I'm having a good time down here, but no, that's not. What's that's very important, because there are black men and black women who are thinking about leaving Twitch and streaming on YouTube, because
Hmm.
right now the concept of hate raids, it hasn't been known as much on YouTube as it is on Twitch, even though it does exist. You can even look it up if you want to. Hate raids on YouTube. There are some news articles about
Yeah, I'll
these.
definitely have to
Yeah,
look that up because, like, even throughout all of the years I've been on YouTube, I can say that the amount of like hate I've received has actually been pretty minimal. Um, I don't think I've gotten too much like racism or anything. I don't think I've really
yeah,
gotten it. And I don't want to speak that into existence, but
yeah.
I'm almost shocked with how much I haven't received anything like that throughout all of the years I've been on there because I've been on there for almost 10 years, so in
Oh
total.
wow.
So, yeah, like I haven't really experienced that. And maybe it's just because a lot of people don't really know about my channel, but I've been pretty lucky when it comes to that, thankfully.
I hope you continue to not deal with that as you're growing,
Yeah.
but I mean, these are things definitely to consider.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be
Uh,
surprised if I do because I've been expecting it for a long time. I'm just shocked that it hasn't arrived yet.
you mentioned that you had a troll, and it was hard to ban them because they kept coming back, and
Hmm.
that, you
Yeah, we
know,
banned them
yeah.
and they were still able to keep typing in the chat like nothing happened, which was insane.
With those who are deciding to move on to a different platform, I mean, for you as a streamer coming up, as a gamer coming up on YouTube, what step? God damn, why is it shaking? My table's shaking like this. What's what steps will you take as a content creator in order to keep yourself and your community safe, happy, and loving? as it is.
Luckily, with the Noir network that I'm in, I'm able to have an advantage when it comes to being able to get in contact with people who are higher up in those spaces. People shouldn't have to do that though. I feel like there should be a place that we can just go without having to know people to get in contact with people that are higher up on YouTube or Twitch. But I definitely will utilize Noir because they know a lot of people that could probably help. Definitely get more mods over time. My channel is still pretty small in terms of like the amount of people that come to my streams. So I feel like I'm pretty okay with mods for now, but definitely over time I want to get a lot more. I use like the feature that they have where you can implement a ban on certain words being used. I feel like that's very useful. And I've always used that. Just banning people, honestly, not even really feeding into it that much because I feel like when you feed into it a lot, you give them control, which I don't
Right.
ever want to do. So, really just banning people and moving on with my day. Because what can you do? I mean, if people say stuff to you or say stuff about you on the internet, there's only so much you can do. So, I feel like the best thing to do is just kind of ban them and move on if you can. I mean, unless it's kind of repetitive and they keep coming back, like what I experienced. But I feel like Twitch is pretty good about once you ban somebody, they're banned. Like I don't feel like if I was on Twitch, I would have had that situation where I couldn't ban that one person. So that would have been nice. But yeah, I think you just have to kind of have those um things put in place before it starts. That way you are already good once it does.
I adore talking to you because you're just such a lovely human being.
Thank
And
you.
even like when looking at your videos, I mean, yeah, I focus more on the gameplay walkthroughs because that is something that is very special about your channel.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you've done other videos as well.
Yeah.
Uh, and and speaking of like the spelling bee, if people wanted to check that out and watch you kick butt, that you got that recorded somehow, or at least you like captured on your end.
Yeah,
So
I recorded
yeah,
it because I had to. I had to.
right. So then you can go on the record and say, yeah, I defeated those girls
Yep.
because I'm a non-alcoholic.
Yep.
That's how you win. I mean, just even like the other extra levels of production, because that's another thing for a YouTuber is people tend to take importance to also the visual aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah.
that channel. And you pay so much to each of the thumbnails and also the graphics. Do you make the graphics by yourself or do you have
Yeah,
someone?
I
Yeah,
do everything by myself. And I think that's one of the things I'm thankful for with having started on YouTube because I feel like if I were to have started elsewhere, I wouldn't have a lot of the skills that I've built up over the years through YouTube. I've heard of like a lot of Twitch streamers not knowing how to like edit videos or not knowing how to create thumbnails and things like that. And that's what I appreciate about YouTube is kind of helped me learn how to do those things over time. So now if I want to do things outside of streaming, which is what I initially started off doing, I know how to do those things and I don't have to ask for help. I mean, eventually I probably will if it gets to a point where I can't handle it, but I like having those extra skills that I feel like I wouldn't have had otherwise.
yeah, and I see that's even expanded other places. Like you even go to your Pinterest. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, is you talking about being a variety princess and doing more than just gaming? I mean, talking about beauty and inspiration, just things that really matter to you. And I think that's just awesome. Just the fact that you kind of put it out there, just things that you enjoy. And I think that's just kind of sweet. Like you really want to have that connection to people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've always wanted to have a connection
Yeah,
with people that come to my channel to support me because I feel like I have always seen a lot of people on different platforms that like I've noticed that people won't respond to people in their chat when they can. I understand that there's some people that kind of struggle with that because they have so many people in their chat, so it
right.
moves so fast, but I've seen A lot of people who actually can respond to people and have that human connection, and they just choose not to because they feel like they can. And I don't know, I always want to give back to the people that support me, because without them there's nobody watching my
At least
content. So
what is something that you like to do is like, hey, if you want to donate or do somewhere where I mean you're presenting it like it's not you have to do this. Just thank you so much for even watching in general. But if you want to support the show, help it keep going. How do you figure that part out when the discussion of this, if ever, if this being a full time career for you?
like, you're asking like when is the best time to implement those kinds of things?
Yes, when and what?
So I recently implemented stream elements into my stream. So if people want to leave a donation, they can. Obviously, it's not something that they have to do or
Yeah.
that I will like get angry with them for not doing. And then once I reach monetization on my channel, people will be able to become members, which is the equivalent of subscribing on Twitch. So just things like that. I haven't really thought too far into it, like what other things I'll implement. I have been like kind of brainstorming some things, but I haven't thought too far into it. But I just feel like people should do it when it's right for them, because at
Right.
the end of the day, people don't have to donate
Yeah.
or do anything like that. I know there's some people that feel like people have to, which I've seen videos of people saying like,
Oh,
if you're
I've
watching my content, you need to do this, but I
oh
don't feel
yeah.
that way.
Oh yeah. You're not going to you're not going to your community like, chat, why aren't you subbing?
Yeah.
You you leeches, chat. You spend all day watching my videos and
Yeah.
going onto my streams, and
Yeah.
you're not supporting?
Yeah, I have a lot of
You're a
people in
leech.
my chat that apologize to me a lot. Like if they're not able to watch the whole stream, or if they have to leave, or if they come in late and they miss the first part, they apologize to me, and I'm like, you guys don't have to apologize. Like I know you have lives outside of my streams or my content. You don't have to apologize about not being here for every single stream all the way through. So, but my community is pretty sweet. I love them a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, because you are pretty sweet outside the ages thing. Like
Thanks.
if
I am
uh
not.
people want to get connected to your YouTube and then your socials, because I mean you have Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Mhm.
Where is that? What's the name of it?
So if people want to follow me on my YouTube channel, my YouTube is youtube.com/the princess of variety. You can also find me if you just type in variety space princess in the search bar on YouTube. You should be able to find me. As far as like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, everything else, I'm just variety princess. So if you type in variety princess just as one word, you should be able to find me. So that's my username on everything else.
You go to varietyprincess.com, which I already put the link in the chat.
Oh yeah, and my website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, on your website you have everything. So
Yeah.
especially your advice, which I definitely recommend people checking out that tab. Uh
Yeah. A lot of
yeah.
nobody has ever like actually used it. So I would love for people to come on there and ask for advice and whatnot.
Yeah, no, because you bring a lot of interesting stories, and even with what you have on your advice so far, I think that you have a lot of amazing things going for you, and I see you only growing and getting bigger as it goes. And then one day, why am I getting her name wrong? Dagichi, uh, she's gonna come back and say, "Hey, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You remember me, right? Dagichi, you were on my stream. I
She was trying to
let me get
fight me.
let me get your autograph right here. Oh, okay. Could you give me another chance? We'll have a spelling bee, and this time you're not gonna get. You don't have to get drunk. Okay, we'll get drunk.
I hope so.
'Cause
I hope she
we'll
grants me
get
that
drunk.
privilege.
Yeah,
But thank you
or
for all the compliments. I
of
appreciate it.
course. No, no, I adore you, miss. Yeah, I mean every bit of it. Uh, I just hope it's not a week later and then someone asks, "Hey, Dagichi, are you gonna have the Variety Princess back?" Who? What? Who's that? No, I'm kidding. I talked to her. I'm kidding. We're watching this right now on Pawnstress, twitch.tv/Pawnstress. The VOD, it will be here right after that. I am also I also share or save the audio portion of this, also clips, and the audio portion will go into Spotify, SoundCloud, or basically any podcast hosting platform that has the name Pawns Press. Miss, you have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Uh,
Can I come back sometime?
yeah,
Okay.
you know what? So glad you asked. You're always welcome here. You know what? Don't be a stranger. You're whenever you want to come on for anything.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Love you, miss. Cyanide. Jack. Jack, thank you for I'm gonna just say Jack. Let's just call you Jack. If I can call you Jack.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course.
I appreciate it. Thank you for reaching out to me.
Appreciate you. You have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, you too. Thank you. Bye.